Welcome back, guys, and today we're here with another deck, and it's one archetype I haven't played in a long time. This is Jund Sacrifice Aristocrats, whatever you call it, and it fell off the before the expansion came out. It was kind of like it was my favorite deck to watch, and it was because it was so fun and it could be so explosive and stuff. But then it lost Perilisma, and then Mia, I don't know how you say it. And then everyone just thought, well, it's not worth playing it now. Well, it's still good, and it did get some additions from the expansion, which we'll get through in a second. But instead of being the whole... When you go into Jund, you tend to go for the Chandra Ignition combo. And that's what this deck's doing. It can... Believe me, I've had some explosive games while testing. But it's... If it's the same theme, really, I mean, you get out a couple of these guys who don't mind dying. Couple ways to sacrifice them, then you draw a bunch of cards with Smothering Abominations, or you just sacrifice them to Husk and then just blow them out in one turn. But where the deck gets a bit spicier now is I'd say it was a card which I wasn't actually sure on, and I think a lot of people are kind of torn on, the Sifter of Skulls. Initially when I saw this card I thought, okay, it's just a worse Smothering Abomination in a way, and we'll run it. You'll still run it, but you won't be happy with it, that sort of thing. But this guy's insane. I've play tested with him, and to put it this way of how powerful this guy's ability is, just say you have a Sifter of Skulls on the field, either a Blister Pod or a Carrier Throw. I mean, you've got 7 in the deck, so it's not exactly unlikely. So I mean, and then a Husk, and you've got Chandra's Ignition in hand. You have lethal right there, and that's if they haven't taken, and that's if they're on 20, because. You sacrifice the Blister Pod is essentially worth 6 damage. The Husk's already got 2 power, so that's 8 damage. You sacrifice the Sifter, that's 10 damage. Shadow's Ignition deals 10 damage to each creature, which is probably wiping out the board, and then you hit them for 10, which equals 20, and that's just off an unassuming board. That is that's the bare minimum. That's 3 creatures on the field, and you have 20 damage off a Husk, which is pretty insane. Obviously, I mean, they can disrupt that, but most people, removal-wise, are sticking to stuff like to kill Husk. The only thing people really have is Declaration Stone. What else could they have? Anguish and Making, I guess. Reprisals, obviously, but no one runs Reprisal. Like the burn, Grasp of Darkness, they aren't going to kill Husk. Husk is too big for that. I mean, I guess Grasp of Darkness will prevent the Husk from killing you that turn, but you'll still wipe their board and hit them for like 16. So like a lot of the removal these days is sorcery speed. People rely on board wipes and stuff. And yeah, so that's the spicy combats. In theory, you could do that in turn 5 and kill them. And so yeah, I mean that's the combo, and it's people don't play around it as much as they should when I've been playing with this deck online. But apart from that, I mean, what else we got? Liliana's obviously a win condition in herself, so easy to flip in this deck. Great-Bellied Marauder. There's a bit of spice in this deck now, is that this guy, he's got Death Touch, and your graveyard is normally going to be stacked. And you've got a Gitrog monster, again, with Death Touch. But you also have Allen Cord, and if you flip her around, she gives creatures Trample, and for those of you who don't know, Trample and Death Touch works amazingly together because it only deals 1 damage. You only need to deal 1 damage to the creature, and then it tramples to their player. So like, for example, they block a Gitrog monster with, I don't know, a 5/5 say, like they have to chump or whatever, and you've got Death Touch Trample, you're still gonna hit them for 5 in the face while killing their creature, which is pretty insane. And obviously with Great-Bellied Marauder, it means if they stick a 1/1 in front of it, it's not going to be enough, because it's going to be a 2-power creature. So if you see what I mean there, Death Touch and Trample works pretty well together. Obviously it's a one of Mythic in our deck, but we do have the Gitrog and the 2 Death-Bellied Marauders, so it can come up. Devil's Playground is just 4 1/1s which deal damage. It's fairly self-explanatory. I mean, you can, in theory, it's kind of like an Ignition in a way, like a terrible Ignition, but just say they leave like a 2/2 blocker behind to chump your Husk. You could go Devil's Playground, sacrifice them all, ping the Husk, and then go to the face. So I like it. And then of course Chandra, just because in theory her +1 ability we should be able to sacrifice them second main to get value from like Smothering Abomination. But with priority, let's see how that works out. But I still think it's worth the inclusion. And apart from that, I mean, new Nissa, she makes plants, and in theory, if you just have a wide board, she's not totally useless. And then with removal, we have the Bone Splinters. The one of Bone Splinters, I just like one of them, because if you have the second one in your hand, you're generally sad. And I also have the Act of Treason. That's a nice little synergy in itself. If someone like taps out for, I don't know, like I can't think of any, but you know, just big creatures, you can just steal them and then sacrifice them for value. And that's really the deck. It's absolutely insane games when I've been playing with this. I mean, some of them were against the AI, which obviously it's not hard to, because the AI doesn't play around anything, but it was a game online where I think we weren't really late, we'd just been doing a bunch of trading and stuff. I had the Great Blade combo I was telling you about there with the trample. I think I had like 12 creatures in the graveyard, or 10, somewhere around there. The poor guy thought he could just jump with a 1/1. And yeah, Death Touch Trample. It's not something you'd look at. Like when I first heard of it, it didn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense to me now, actually, now I think about it. But it does exist, and I will abuse it. I used to try and do it back in Origins with like Wild Size, but obviously that's not exactly the most powerful combo. Hey, looks like we're playing a rank 40, Mr. Ferdo, or Mrs. Ferdo, I guess, we don't really know. With a low land hand, no thank you. One land hand. I've got the Sylvan Ranger. If I was going to keep a one lander, I'd keep this, but unfortunately we're not going to do that. I guess we just go with this 6. I mean, what do we have? We have 21 lands plus 4 Sylvan Rangers, so 25 cards, which are good value for us to draw. Plus the Blister Pods, I guess, Carrier Rolls. More land. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously this hand's terrible, don't get me wrong, we have no sacrifice outlets. And well, actually, I guess Bone Splinters count. Sifter of Skulls is not the first creature you want to play in this deck. Let's put it that way. Highly Eternal Pilgrim. So I mean, if we get to 4 mana, we can at least get some value. Maybe 2 for whatever it is. Oh, where were you last? Well, actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. We're not exactly doing anything else this turn. I could just Bone Splinters that now, but I'm going to try and get the value from it. I could actually just sacrifice. No, I can't sacrifice to itself. Never mind. Wow, that's an aggressive declaration, Stone. Yeah, that's a play. Oh, he's going to be sad when I have like double Sifter of Skulls come out at one point. I think that's just way too early. Oh, hey, we actually do the 4th land. Means we're going to go for... Oh, this is actually going to be great. This is a combo here because Sifter is the... it's non-token creature, so when we steal that creature, it'll actually count as ours, unless he just has a hand stuffed for removal here. I want him to play a second creature, and then I can get this value off. But, I mean, to be honest, if I'm him attacking, he's already shown how insanely aggressive he is with the Declaration Stone. On turn 2, on a Carrier Throw. So I mean, if I'm him, just might as well go balls to the walls and attack in. He's thinking about that. Yep. Okay. So this guy is officially. I'm surprised. He should be playing like Mono Red or Rakdos. Anguish and Making. Holy shit! This guy just does not give a fuck. He's all about the removal. But I mean, I'd like to think that like we actually drew out of this hand pretty well here, but I'd like to think on like a psychological level we're tilting him pretty hard by playing a second Sifter of Skulls after he essentially... Well, I mean, it depends if it works out for him or not, but I think he kind of wasted that declaration. Unless he has like a second one here. He must... Yeah, holy shit, this guy just has every single Orzhov removal in the game. I'm not worried though. I mean, we're only getting hit for 2 a turn. Eventually he's gonna have no removal left, and he's gonna have to play out creatures. And then we can get him with his Act of Treason and Bone Splinters. So I'm just going to get green here. You know, we run Evil Leaf and our mana looks pretty good. So, in case we want to sacrifice like 10 creatures in a turn. You don't reveal with this. Oh, yeah, you don't. Oh, you do reveal, so I might as well play the green. And we could sacrifice a Clue end step. This is the most aggressive Orzhov build I have ever seen before. Is it control? That's the real question, or is he just like life gain that's gone wrong with none of the like cholesterol healers? I'll keep this 1-1 round. And these clues are actually going to come in handy here. So I mean, I agree with the second declaration, but he wouldn't have needed a second declaration if he'd held back. Okay, he just has no creatures apparently in his deck. All in Chord is good. We can actually hit him pretty hard here if we want. Or we could just make the wolf. I think we go beat down. So because it gives haste and vigilance the +1 of Arlen. And then maybe he has to divert resources into dealing with Arlen. So I mean, he's already blown one Anguish and Making. I doubt he's got the second one. And he's not exactly gaining life either. I mean, to be honest, I'm almost tempted at this point to just go for the Bone Splinters to get rid of one of his creatures, but I feel like we're committed to this play now. We could potentially get in so much damage, although he is land screwed. So maybe he's just... I mean, I guess if I'm him, I'm still keeping the hand just because he had a 2-drop plus the lands for a bunch of removal spells. This didn't work out. Nah, you can hit Arlen. I guess I could have made the wolf and then next time I could just bolt it, but I quite like this play here. Holy shit, we're just Sylvan Ranger City. I'm almost wondering at this point, do we have lethal? Let's get another black, okay. So we have 1, 2, 5, 7 if we stole, so we don't have lethal yet. But I mean, with the Act of Treason, when eventually we're going to be able to force through some damage. He is stuck on lands though, but again, I've got 3 Sylvan Rangers in the field and he has 2 Decoration Stones in his graveyard, you know. Might as well do this now, just see what we draw, in case we draw a creature or whatever. And we were not rewarded, although I guess, again, Devil's Playground wasn't the worst draw in the world for me. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think with the level of land screw my opponent's on, I don't think there was much he could have done, but I think he could have bought himself a lot more turns. Like, if he Declarationed, hitting a Sylvan Ranger and then a Sifter of Skulls, I wouldn't have a board. Which is pretty scary when you think about. I wonder if he's thinking that. I mean, if I'm in his position, I'm just going fucking land screw, fucking hate this game. But you know, from an outsider perspective, yeah, we have lethal here. Let's just go for it. So I guess that was the game. Unfortunately, opponent just never managed to get out with 3 lands. So, alas. Rank 33, extra gold. I mean, I don't know. I'm stuck at around between rank 32 and 35 is where I'm stuck. I blame my deck buildings. Like, I'll get 3 wins with a good deck online. I'll get all confident. I'll build something stupid like Sultai Fog, and then it'll just go back down, which is actually a true story. I thought, hey, Sultai Fog might have changed. You know, we've got Altered Egos, we've got Essence Fluxes. We can just keep bouncing or copying, Possessed Scab, getting back more and more fogs. I thought it would be glorious. And then, hey, even Jace is bugged, so the Exile, so we can just keep flashing back fogs. But, alas, no, Tutelage still refuses to appear in the top half of your deck. So, record was 17 cards yesterday with that. I had 17 cards out from my library, no Tutelage. That was an entertaining game. 2 lander, Blister Pod, 2 husks, but no black mana. I think we can do better. Nope. Well, no green mana this time. I can't keep that either. Well, this is shit as well, but guess we'll see how it plays out. Not a good draw. Generally, I'm not too fussy, just as long as I have like a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and maybe one of our power 4 drops, which I just said I'm not too picky, and I just asked for like a god draw, but you know what I mean, like a workable hand isn't too bad, and hey, one more land in this hand becomes that workable hand. But we just haven't had the draw where we went Blister Pod, Carrier Thrall, Husk. You know, that's sort of the what you want, and we're kind of stuck on it, unfortunately. These sort of draws. Liliana, I mean, I'm just going to throw her out there into the horribly awry. Okay, I'm just going to throw her out there into the Declaration of Stone. Never mind Rattle Chains. Well, he can't block. I mean, we can, if we draw land, we can Arlen Cord and make a 4/5 lifelink, or make the wolf. And then Cletus. I think we'd probably use... Okay, never mind, he does have the Declaration. It's just the day of the Declaration of Stones today. Just FYI, now that you've shown me it, I will be playing pretty aggressively with my Liliana if you don't attack. I mean, if you don't kill it this turn. Just letting you know that. Instead he goes for the Vern Wingmare, which is actually pretty deadly for us right now. But, by showing me the Declaration Stone, I mean, I was going to attack anyway, but... Looks like we're playing Blue-White Flyers, which is a deck I've been messing around with recently. Please land off the top. Ooh, that's actually... Oh, we only have one green source, never mind. That was very nearly really good. Because if I'd ripped a land there, I could have Arlen Cord and then +1, and then we would have gained a bunch of... Well, actually we couldn't, because of the Vern Wingmare. And either way with this play, we didn't have the... Because of the Vern Wingmare. That's going to throw me off all game if I survive that long anyway. If I'd ripped the land, I wouldn't have played Cletus now that because you showed me a Declaration Stone, and Cletus is a bigger lifelinker than Liliana, to put it bluntly. But we are up against it. I've been messing around with Blue-White Flyers as well. I don't run it because I prefer running Kithian's Tactics, the Auras, etc, etc. Okay. Gonna play... Yeah, there's nothing else to do. I'll play the tap land. I was gonna crack McClue, but... Maybe I should have cracked McClue. I should have cracked McClue, because if I dropped like a 1-drop... Or a 2-drop. I don't know why I didn't. I was gonna say I was gonna crack it digging for land, but then I drew the land and I kind of just changed my mind. So I mean, we need to get to 6 mana. Chandra's Ignition is our way out of this game. I'm just gonna crack it now. I mean, he's already played his creature for the turn, so I doubt. Okay, we drew land, so it didn't punish us. Yeah, our goal is for Cletus to survive and us to be able to Chandra's Ignition it. Not much else to say. If we do Chandra's Ignition it, we win, because lifelink plus Chandra's Ignition is hilarious. But like I said, got no other play here. Can't get too fancy. I guess I could... I'm almost tempted to Arlen Cord instead, because then... Because then maybe he's less likely to use removal on the wolf, but that doesn't really make too much sense. This play we get to Cletus and Blister Pod, and hey, worst case scenario, Blister Pod isn't the worst target on this board for Chandra's Ignition, because we kill 2 of his creatures. But we need to rip another land. It's as simple as that. I mean, my Azorius deck, I run 2 Declaration Stones. That's generally my benchmark for removal. Unfortunately, that is an Archangel of Tides and a Topplegeist. So he's just played his hat. He's done what I would have done in this situation. Is when if you have the removal, you've got it. But hopefully we can just rip a land here, and then we win. Well, I guess we're not dead either way, just because Arlen Cord plus Cletus is good for some life. Well, we might be dead, I'm not sure. Land? Oh, where were you? Where were you when I needed you? Shit. If we had the land there, we won. Fuck. I'm going to attack him with a Blister Pod as well, because that's a land, technically, if he decides to kill it. And do we survive though is the question. We gain 5 life, we go up to 11. 4, 6, 8, 10. So if he has any pump or anything, we die. It's not exactly we can play around it though, to be fair. So, and I just have to hope he doesn't draw pump. He doesn't draw a way to remove Kalias. And I have to hope he doesn't. And I hope he kills my Blister Pod here. But I can't attack. Archangel Tides, why can't you leave the game? For those of you who don't know what went wrong, read this ability. As long as Archangel Tides is untapped, creatures you control can attack you or planeswalk. I mean, there's nothing I could have done. I would have lost the game anyway, but yeah, if I'd blocked that, yeah, I was dead. There was nothing I could have done. I'm still trying to attack just out of desperation. Okay, let's bring it. It won't let me bring it back either. Okay, there we go. I can't, but yeah, I still can't attack. I'm aware of it. The game's trolling me. Just kill me quickly, please. I'm tapped out. Thank you. Just end me quick. We nearly got there. If we'd drawn the land on that last turn, we win that game 100%. But sometimes it's just not to be fair, considering the keep we had in that game. We kept a 2-lander with no fixing, nothing. That hand could have worked out a lot worse. That still hurts because we had another turn if we could have attacked. I like that ability. I just saw it as a 3/5 flyer. I didn't see it as anything else. Oh god, that hurts so much. Well, I hope everyone else who's watching this is as bad as me and didn't realize until that moment as well. But I fully expect the comments to just be spammed like about 10 minutes ago when I'm just sitting there saying, okay, I can attack and gain 5 life, and then everyone's just telling me. And to be honest, I deserve it. But that's going to go down in the highlight wheel as stupid shit Nighthawks tried to do. Same with when on the 5 color special video when I attacked with the Accursed Spirit into a Carrier Thrall. Didn't realize it wasn't devoid. Okay, 2-land hand again, but we have a Sylvan Ranger and green mana, so keep. And all our colours. So hey, this is actually a decent draw. Gotta get second black. Go Sylvan Ranger into Liliana. Maybe if we draw another land, Sifter of Skulls, Obnixilis, you know, it's a pretty good draw. Who we playing? Gaulia. So could be worse. What did we draw? That Devil's Playground, which is, to be honest, pretty arguably the worst draw we could have had in our deck. Along with the other Devil's Playground and Chandra, and Chandra's Ignitions, I guess. There's nothing worse that we could have drawn. Which is a good place to start. Looks like we're playing Gruul. I wonder if he's ramp. That doesn't tell us anything because every single green deck runs that card. I'm liking the idea of flipping Lily somehow, so... Well, the cool thing about Liliana is that people generally tend to just allow damage to go through when you have the potential of flipper this early. So I mean, this is basically just a free attack. I mean, if he trades, well, it doesn't trade if he blocks. I am over the moon, and then Sifter of Skulls is pretty good on this board as well because we have a Sylvan Ranger and a Blister Pod. Hopefully this guy just gets land screwed. Well, it's not a land screw, but it's a tap land where he doesn't want it to be a tap land, so... He's attacking, I'll block. And he kind of agrees, which tells me I don't think he's got any tricks, otherwise he would have attacked. So... Sounds like another free attack, but just in case I'll play out the Sifter of Skulls because if he does kill it, at least I'll get a Scion. And that would ramp us to a Devil's Playground actually, which would be pretty good. But this is a pretty strong draw. We have a turn 5 Obnixilis, which can kill his creatures, and I'm happy making that block because we gain 2 life, and I mean I'm still going to block on the way back because I don't think he's got combat tricks. Although now he does have a white mana, so Gideon's Reproach, Celestial Flare. I don't know, there's plenty of other pump spells he could have. But playing a Kithian on turn 3 is something I'm pretty happy about. Honestly, I'm going to play Obnixilis, but it's a question of what I'm minusing on here. I'm kind of scared of Kithian, but he doesn't have a board at the minute. So I think I'll just go for the Sylvan Ranger still. I mean, Devil's Playground can ping that thing at any time when we eventually draw a Sacrifice Outlet. And we're attacking pretty heavily for Adam right now. I mean, I'm going to leave the... I mean, I'm going to leave a creature back because I want Obnixilis to survive, so... I guess I'll just do that. Because if he wants to blow a removal spell on a 1-1, that's better than doing anything else, so... And I mean, I will just chump in front of it because I'll get a sign from the deal. Plus, he won't kill my Obnixilis. Mina and Den can give it trample, which doesn't kill my creature, and he needs 2 more lands, so, and yeah, so that's not happening this okay, whoa. This guy's playing a lot of colours. What are we on? That's white, black, blue, red, green? Is this 5 colour? Yep, well, no black yet. No, black is there. This is 5 colour. Smothering Abomination. It's a good draw. We just need a Sacrifice Outlet, and we're golden. Listopod is not a Sacrifice Outlet. That's almost just tempted to just Devil Playground and then offer the trade with the Sifter of Skulls, or we could Smothering Abomination, double Blisterpod, which I quite like as well. Actually, I think I prefer that. It's extra protection for Obnixilis, and we can start drawing a metric shit ton of cards. Question is, do we attack here? And the answer to that question, I think, is yes. Because we'd flip Liliana, and question is, does the 1-1 come in? I think it does, because even if he just eats it, we'll get the Scion, which means we can, if he just does a board wipe or something here, we'll draw a card, and he's most likely just let the damage go through, so yay. But blue, white, red, green, black, so yeah, straight up 5 colour here. Sorin, holy shit, that's life gain. But to be honest, on this board, Sorin isn't even that great. Like, he kills Obnixilis or Smothering Abomination. I'd probably say Smothering Abomination on this board, although Planeswalkers are harder to kill. Either way, he loses pretty badly. Liliana is not the choice. Yeah, Liliana wasn't the choice there for me. Because if you could kill Smother Abomination can now kill his Planeswalker, while Obnixilis can kill his Mina and Den. While before he only had one choice in that matter. So, like, he either had to I could either kill his Planeswalker or I could kill Mina and Den, either or. But now I get to do both. So I disagree with that play. I don't mind losing Ob here because we are definitely ahead. If I just go, well, I need to kill that thing because it's life gain, but apart from that, I mean, I think we're pretty free to just go to the face here. I mean, he needs Declaration Stone to kill the Devil's Playground. Otherwise, I think he just dies on a... This is a weird... I mean, Kithian, obviously, it's a 5 colour deck with Kithian in it, so I wasn't really expecting, like, much. But, I'm going to play my hand out here as well because we have 3 Scions on the field. Which means even if he does have a board wipe of some sorts, then we draw 3 cards. And he'd be tapped out. I've got to keep that in mind he does have a Shambling Vents, which can gain him 2 life. That might mess up with my maths. P and Kieran, okay. So I think he is very much in trouble here. Judging by how scary my board is. He can? Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that was a game, I guess. I'm going to play one more because I really do enjoy this deck. I'm having a lot of fun. I normally cut it off in 3 matches, but that second one was pretty painful, so I'm feeling like playing one more. Yeah, It's one of the best feelings in Duels when you're kind of off the game and then you find a deck which you love playing, and you just can't get enough of it again. It doesn't happen often. Like, I don't know. There was a period of about a couple of weeks ago I was barely playing Duels, and then I'm slowly but surely hitting my grind again, and I'm enjoying the game, which is a good thing. I mean, it's obviously, I'm not going to be an idiot and say it doesn't have any flaws, but I'll play it as long as I enjoy it. It's generally my concept when it comes to games, and I am enjoying it at the minute. So we'll play a fourth game. Back in year 2015, I used to have hour-long videos. And I hated 2015 looking back at it. So, I mean, 3 black cards, no black mana. Why can't I have a good hand? I mean, it's not too much to ask. Yeah, we've lost this game. I knew I should have cut off at 3. Yep. Well, as far as shit hands go, this is not the shittest I've seen. You get a turn 3 Husk with a Blister Pod backup, I guess. Depends how aggressive this guy is. If he does nothing this next turn, I've got hope. And red-black tends to not often do nothing, but hey, there may be a god smiling upon us. What was this? Was this a mulligan to 4 or 5? It was one of the two. I think it was a multi to 5. Gonna lead with Smouldering Marsh because that unlocks all our check lands, plus it gives us black and red mana. I just have to hope his draw works out worse than mine. That's not a good start. Yeah. A turn 3 Olivia on a multi 5. Well, there's hope now. There's actually genuinely hope now. We just need to him not have removal and us to survive one more land drop. Actually, we just do it next turn if we wanted, because we can sacrifice the Scion and get an extra mana. So it just depends on when we want to pull the trigger. Like if he plays I don't know, two vampires here, I'll just pull the trigger. I'll force him to have something else. But this turned out decently okay for a 5 card hand. I mean, he could just go Lightning Axe here and then I'd pretty much lose. But Call the Bloodline is not good for us, because he can instant speed flash something in. Although not this turn because this costs 1 mana. Plus the tokens have lifelink, so it's an interesting attack for me. What's this thing exactly do? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield. Whoa! It's not token. It's not. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it's not non-token. So you can actually make this thing a 2/2 lifelink. So I gotta keep that in mind. We'd have to trade a Scion for it. We'd have to discard a card for no value. I think it's. I still think we attack with both, and then if he blocks one, then we get to. Yeah, I like that. I mean, unless he madnesses out like a Fiery Temper here. But I mean, we've got to go for it. I mean, we're on a multi 5. You can't afford to be fancy on a multi 5. You just kind of have to go for it. Fiery Temper, so. Gonna target there. Sacrifice the Scion. That was a weird move by him, to be honest. He killed the Blister Pod with a Fiery Temper. And while I got to buff it for 2 damage. Well, actually he gets to block as well. But I mean, no, he still just killed the Blister Pod for. I'm almost tempted to just blow the Ignition now while we got a 6-power creature. I know we only kill Olivia, but what do you think? Well, we don't get to do it this turn now anyway, so. I mean, it's literally our game plan is that he just plays out a bunch of vampires here, and then we get to. Well, we need to draw a creature now, so. He's gonna just flash it in, he's gonna get lifelink. No, he's gonna discard an Arms of the Veins, so that's a card, I guess. But he's gonna be able to discard something else while I mean, a turn 3 Olivia is hard to beat in any deck, let alone. Well, he had a god draw though, to be fair. We need to draw like Blister Pot off the top. We might. Are we just dead here? 5, 8, 10. Pretty much. Yep, we need something this turn now. Blister Pot off the top, some creatures, anything but land. That was not land. Yeah, we're just dead here. We needed him to choke, and he did not, unfortunately. But, I mean, that's an absolute vampire god draw, no matter how you cut the dice there. Turn 3 Olivia with all this shenanigans to back it up. We nearly got there. We nearly got there. I should have quitted 3 games. Oh well. Like I said, sometimes you just get stuck. So we went 2 and 2 this video, I think. But I mean, that was a multi 5 with a terrible 5-hand keep, so it worked. It kind of worked out, but I mean, I'm not gonna chalk that down to the deck. That was just some luck. But yeah, so that's Junkrat. It's a super fun deck. Like, I mean, I don't often recommend decks I've built, but if you want to have fun, this is a list to build. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later.